Hey, what's up guys? This is Dan again with my 2018 STI. It's been a little while, a couple of weeks, but I decided to make a new video tonight. Weather is finally getting nicer and I've been cleaning my STI a little more, taking it out, really enjoying the nice weather. So, actually it's ironic I say that because this is the one time I'm making a video where it's actually dirty. I know it may look a little good on camera, but I haven't cleaned it in the past week. It's just been raining every other day. Typical Long Island, New York weather. So, irks me. I'm super anal with my cars. I like keeping them clean, but it is what it is. I try to keep it protected. I try to keep a layer of wax on there, so if a bird craps on it, the sun bakes it in, you know, it's got some protection. I don't want just bare paint. I wanted to make a video today about a few little things I've done to my STI that are cost-effective ways of making it look nicer, handle better, ultimately just a better car, you could say. Now, not all things are performance mods, not all things are power mods. They could be strictly cosmetic. They could be, oh, that is, let's take it off though. Yeah, there are all sorts of different types of mods. It's really up to you. Now, ironically, what I did for this car is not power mods first. What most people do with their STIs, they could be brand new, they could be used, they could be 10 years old, they could be right off the lot. It doesn't matter. People immediately get them pro-tuned, they throw a downpipe on, they throw a catback on, they put an intake on, they do injectors, they do a turbo, and they get more power out of them. I don't want to say immediately, but right after they do the mods. Now, this is one route you could take. These cars have a huge market for stuff like that. I didn't do it for a few reasons. I got this car brand new. It's a 2018. It still has less than 10,000 miles on it. As you can see, it's not stock, but surprisingly, I don't have an access port in there. I don't have a pro-tuned. Besides the catback, it's a stock car. Now, the catback, even without a tune, may add a few extra horsepower. Do I feel it? Not really. I mean, you have the sound and the Fury, so it definitely sounds much better. It's a beautiful sounding exhaust. It's the NVIDIA R400 Gemini exhaust, and I absolutely love it. But power-wise, you're not going to get that much power out of just the catback. If you want power, either get it pro-tuned, get an access port, and go stage 2, which is the downpipe and the tune, or stage 1 plus, which I would recommend because it's easier to remove if you have an issue, which is just a tune and an air intake. And the air intake is nice on these cars because it's easy to install. It's just removing the stock box here, and it reduces the intake air temperatures, which is really good for these cars because they run hot. I mean, it's just the setup is designed to not extract that much hot air, even with the hood scoop, because that's mainly for intaking air for the intercooler. So they run hot. An intake will definitely help. Do not run an intake or even an air filter without a tune. It is not good for your car. These cars are extremely sensitive, and ultimately, if you don't know what you're doing, I just would not touch any performance mods, from a tune to an intake or even an exhaust. I know they're simple mods. People do them to most cars. They're a good starting point, but with these cars, they're very sensitive. I would not recommend it unless you do your research prior and you know what you're doing. So besides those mods, there are a few nice things you could do. I'll show you a few that I decided to do. The first, I think, looks fantastic, and it's the Type RA lip. This comes on the RAs when they came out the same year as this. It was 18, and they also come on, I guess, the new S207s, the new models. Either way, it's an OEM lip. I got on eBay. I paid around $300. Fitment's perfect. That's why I went with this. You know, I don't mind getting aftermarket parts, but something like this, a body part where you want it to fit right, you don't want it to have any curvature or bends, you get what you pay for. So this thing, the fitment's perfect. Very easy to install. You line it up. It's got markers on it. You just drill through the bottom. You don't have to worry about damaging your car. Looks awesome. Looks that much more aggressive. The only little holes that don't come pre-drilled are back here. So you drill 2 holes and you pop those little push pin rivets in there to hold it in place. So that's really it. Love the lip. I think it really brings out the front end, makes it look aggressive. 100% recommend that. And like I said, go OEM if you don't want the headache of poor fitment or anything else like that. The second small cosmetic thing I would recommend is these fender badges. Now mine came with the silver badges. Didn't look bad, but as you can see, I got a bright red car, came with gunmetal wheels, I got bright neon calipers, so it had like 10 colors going on. I kind of wanted to minimize the rainbow effect and make it a little more black and red. So I went with these, which are actually a gloss black, and it's very nice because they're not too bright. They're just like the right amount of glossiness, and it fits in perfect with the color scheme I got going on. So it's a small detail, but it really looks better in my eyes. I don't mind that for the 50 bucks I paid for the pair. The second thing to go with the black, obviously I have all these black accents and trim pieces on the car, were the track lights. These are made by Motegi. They're 18 by 9 all around. I got 245, 40, 18 Neogens on them. These tires are cheap, but not in a bad way. They're very affordable. They handle great. Plenty of tread, plenty of traction, all-season tires. And that's what I wanted. I don't want to have to switch my tires every season, or I should say summer and winter, really. These, you could drive in the rain aggressively and won't have any issues. You could drive in the snow and not have any issues. Are they as good as Blizzaks or straight winter tires? Not necessarily, but they'll get the job done. And that's if you just want to have one set of year-round wheels and not have any issues. So I love the wheels. And this brings me back to performance. You don't always have to add power to the car to get better performance out of it. These wheels are substantially lighter than the OEM wheels that came on here. The 19s were about 28 pounds per rim, not including the tire. With the tire, they were almost 55 pounds. These rims are, I believe, 19 pounds. So you're almost, I think, maybe not even, 18 going on 19 pounds. So ultimately, I'm saving 10 pounds per corner. Tires included, so that's 40 pounds all around, and that may not sound like a lot, but it's rotational mass, and when you factor that in, that is a huge difference. So I definitely noticed it's a little more agile. It moves a little better. It accelerates. You know, it's not breaking any necks, but you will notice. I mean, if you save that much rotational mass, you will notice a difference. It just feels a little more free. It feels like it wants to go a little more, which is definitely a nice little effect. So I did it for the color scheme because I really wanted to go with black, but that was one of the main things I did. As you could also tell, the car is lowered. I decided to go with TN, Street Bases Z coilovers. Once again, a very cost-effective option compared to some other coilovers out there. They're not too cheap, but they're definitely not too expensive. I mean, as we know, coilovers could be $2 grand, $3 grand or higher. These are awesome coilovers. They're fully adjustable up top, so you can change the stiffness of the struts. You could go fully stiff, giggity, or fully limp, I guess you could say. But I keep it on the stiffer mode, and even with that on the 18, it rides phenomenally. It feels great. It's not harsh. Just an overall comfortable ride. I daily drive it, and I love it. So it's got adjustable camber plates. Like I said, you could do the stiffness, and then of course, you can't see it, but you could obviously adjust the height and all that. So very cost effective, great riding coilovers. I had them all in my other car. Even the cheaper versions, and they've always been great, so highly recommend those coilovers. TN, however you pronounce it, teen, whatever. I'm gonna stop trying. But that's really it. Besides the Catback NVIDIA R400, sounds amazing. If you're interested in a clip, check out my other videos. Just the Catback, it's the perfect volume, perfect tone. I really don't experience drone, and there's never been a day where I've got in my car and said this is too loud. I can't bear it. There's also never been a day where I said this is too quiet. It's literally perfect. Highly recommend it. So that's really it for small, subtle exterior mods and the few performance mods I have. I did a couple other things Like the STI rear license plate, just gives it a cleaner look. Goes with the red and black color scheme. And beyond that, I didn't change much. I did a few interior bulbs. You know, I gave it the LED look, so it just looks cleaner. I did the rear license plate lamps, so it just looks a little more modern. Oh, right here, right in front of my face, the parent alternator shield cover. I personally love it. As you can see, my car's red, matches well. It just gives it that little amount of extra bling. The stock one's just straight plastic, so it looks really good in my eyes. It's only, I think it's less than $100, whatever I paid. Just really cleans up the engine bay and really accentuates the red details. Of course, you could get in other colors, but these are the few small things I did. The interior hasn't been touched. As you can see, it's dirty. Interior needs a good clean. I park in a dirt parking lot, unfortunately, and I track shit in everywhere, so if you're like me and you wear work boots and you walk through shitty areas, get all weather mats. I got these for free from my dealer. The Carpet ones look much cleaner. These look sloppy right now, but that's the whole point of them. Take them out, hose them off, clean them, keeps everything else clean. So that's it. Interior is pretty much stock. You know, I like the shifter. I like the shift knob. You know, the gauges, the little infotainment system, the heads-up display. I really appreciate it all. There's not much I want to do to the interior. Just the small things, like I said, the bulbs, the mats, but that's pretty much it. So beyond that, I'm very happy with how it came out. If I had to do one more thing, I would probably carry on the effect of the body kit, I guess you could say. So it's got the lip, and they also make OEM side skirts that go along the bottom there. And as you guys have probably seen, they make two little flares for the back, and then something that goes, it's like a little diffuser that goes in the middle under the bumper. I think that looks good, but you know, that's the recipe for a nice looking, good handling car in my eyes. New wheels, preferably lighter wheels, coilovers for handling and just to give it that more aggressive stance, and preferably a tune. Like I said, it's kind of a hit or miss. The car's new. I don't want to have any issues, but it's been 10,000 miles. It's been great. Not burning any oil. I take care of it. I change the oil every 3,000 miles with synthetic only. And I haven't had any issues. I drive it hard. It's just one of those things where you have to keep on top of it. Always use 93 octane. Don't be cheap. Don't cheap out on the oil. Don't forget to change the oil, and you'll have good luck. But if you want to be like me and not even have to worry about that and want a good looking car, and if something goes wrong, take it in a dealership and they'll fix it without even questioning you, start with these simple things. Do coilovers, do wheels. You could do the little fender badges. You could do a lip. They're not going to care about these. You could even do a catback. You could have it sound beastly, and you'll be good to go. So these are all good starting points, and hopefully you guys like this video. Let me know what you guys did to your car and how it came out, and thanks for watching. And for more content, please like and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you.